855-696-2020. Here's the best part. First callers who mention the keyword healthy will get 2 free weeks added to their weight loss package. Don't wait. Call today. 855-696-2020.
Greetings. I'm back. 2 days off. Good trip with my daughter. And eager to wrap up a week of Bruce Hooley shows. So thanks for joining us. Intro music playing. Here we go. Well, let's see if I remember how to do this. I guess the fact that there's audio playing while I'm trying to do this, the answer would be no. I don't remember how to do this. But trust me, I'll figure it out as we return to the air after a 2-day absence. It's nice to be back with you here on a Friday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. It's nice that it's Friday. I always look forward to Friday. I assume you do too. It's the end of most of our work weeks, and the weekend beckons. We won't have 70 degrees and sun, but we will most likely have 2 days off. So that's a very good thing. 600-ish miles on the vehicle, 6 precious hours in it with my daughter, whose medical appointment 2 weeks after the removal of her wisdom teeth came out swimmingly. So that was why I was gone, and I am back, and I want to thank Matt Mayer of Opportunity Ohio for sitting in. I'm sure Matt did a very good job because Matt is a smart guy, and I learn a lot from him in one segment that he joins me every week. I can only imagine how much you learned in 4 hours of Matt. So thanks to Matt Mayer, Opportunity Ohio. We look forward to welcoming him back on the air with us at 12:05 next Thursday. I got to say, though, you guys really haven't done much to fix the city of Columbus in the 48 hours that I've been gone. Not that it could be done. I don't even think Trump and Elon Musk could fix the city of Columbus that fast, although they're trying. But of course, the city of Columbus is fighting them. You probably know that there are some areas of our city that are more challenging than others. Franklinton, the Hilltop, near East Side, and of course, Linden. There's high crime. There's bad schools. But what I see today in the Columbus Dispatch, as it concerns the effort of local officials to stand in the way of Donald Trump and Elon Musk's cost-cutting efforts with our federal government, is that the areas of our city that are blighted and where most of the bad stuff happens, car thefts, armed robberies, murders, chronic absences from schools, no learning going on, subterranean test scores, reading and math. The problem is not any of that. The problem is that those areas don't have enough trees. They just do not have enough trees in these areas. For instance, let me read you a quote from Zach Klein, our city law director. I mean, he's on top of it. I mean, he knows how many car thefts there are, how many armed robberies there are, how many murders there are. But here is Zach Klein's quote to Jordan Laird of the Columbus Dispatch in a story headlined, "Ohio City Sues Trump and Musk." Now, I've written headlines before. Trust me on this. The amount of space that the word Columbus would take up is not any bigger than the words Ohio City. And I'm just going to throw a bit of advice to my friends at the Dispatch. Maybe put Columbus sues Trump and Musk over Doge freeze on an already spent forestry grant rather than Ohio City, because they might think, oh, it's Coshocton, or it's Circleville, or it's Maria Stein, or it's Coldwater, or it's Akron. No, it's Columbus. And Zach Klein, the city attorney, who would be, of course, intimately involved in any efforts where a lawsuit would be filed against the federal government, Zach Klein has a reason. Because, of course, they've spent $400,000 planting trees in Linden and other areas of Columbus. And Zach Klein is not happy that Elon Musk and Donald Trump want to claw that money back because they consider it to be a waste of money. Since I've planted, let's see, I've owned our property along with my lovely wife since 2002. I counted one time. If you count evergreens, if you count apple trees, which why wouldn't you? I have planted about 60 trees on our acreage. Now, I can guarantee you $1,000 planting 60 trees because I wait till the end of the year till the trees are almost gone and are on clearance at Lowe's or Home Depot or some garden center. And that's when I get my trees. I rarely pay more than $15 for a tree. Rarely. Okay. So a lot of them I got for next to nothing. A lot of them I grew myself from seedlings, from acorns, from other things. Nevertheless, I digress because I know you're all thirsting for Zach Klein's explanation as to why more trees would fix everything that's wrong with Linden. Zach Klein says, the chaos in Washington caused by the Trump administration is killing jobs, threatening local investments, and stalling community-based projects, many of which already have shovels in the ground. The extreme approach isn't efficient or even effective. Rather, it's simply undermining programs and harming the communities that stand to benefit from them, which in this instance is a historically black neighborhood. Now he's talking about Linden, of course. And later on, you say, well, sure, Zach Klein says that, but what does his boss really think about this? Of course, Andrew Ginther is politically savvy enough to get elected 3 times as mayor of the city that every single elected official is a Democrat. So the most important part of Andrew Ginther is not anything having to do with Andrew Ginther. It is the D in front of his name on the ballot. Here's Andy's take. Healthy neighborhoods start from the ground up. Studies show, oh, I love expertism. Don't you love expertism? Studies show that there is a correlation between low-income areas and low tree canopies. We will continue to make expanding our tree canopy a cornerstone of our environmental policies, not only to reduce energy usage, but to make healthier, equitable environments for residents in all of our neighborhoods. So Linden, you don't have a crime problem. You are not the victim of a Columbus City school system that ranks 750th out of 929 school districts in the state of Ohio. You are not a victim of a 19% math proficiency level compared to the state average of 52%. You are not a victim of 31% reading proficiency scores in a state where the average is 60%. You are the victim of not enough trees. So get on that, okay? When you eat an apple, take the seeds out. Don't throw them away. Throw them in the dirt. And maybe in 20 years, Linden will be fixed because there's certainly a better chance of you throwing an apple seed in the dirt fixing Linden than anything Zach Klein or Joyce Beatty or Shannon Hardin or Andrew Ginther would ever do to help you. Just keep putting them in office, but they're never going to do anything to help you, ever. Now, they have a lot of help in that regard. While I was gone, I stayed abreast of the news, and I was captivated by this comment from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who is, of course, a Democrat, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, pretty much, well, I would say reserving a spot for himself in the midterm campaign commercials around the country with this take.
You know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. They're your government. Take my money from me. I don't want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
Now, I would just say this. If Chuck Schumer is going to take a shovel and dig himself and Democrats even deeper by saying that it's wrong to want to maintain most of your own wealth and not give it to the government in taxes. If he's going to dig a hole that deep, at least he should throw like an acorn in it or an apple seed in it or something. Plant a tree while you're digging, Chuck. Plant a tree while you're digging. Of course, this is all amusing to us who are conservatives who go, yeah, we would like to keep our money because, I know this word is foreign to Democrats. We earned it. We earned it. Okay. But they don't like that. Wesley Hunt, though, Republican congressman, is appreciative of Elon Musk's efforts, as am I.
I've seen Democrats on TV for the past week scream Elon Musk, Musk. It's been quite invigorating, actually. I'm really enjoyed it. And what's funny about it to me is that you're mad at the guy that found the fraud, but not mad at the people that wasted your money. Here in Congress, we clearly can't cut a budget, so I really thank Elon for doing our job for us.
Yes. Thank you, Elon. Thank you, Donald Trump. No, thank you, Zach Klein. No, thank you, Chuck Schumer. Thank you for listening to the Hooley Show.
Skies and breezy this afternoon.
Oh, what idiots. What utter idiots.
Tonight 43. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, and a high 51. On that clear and cold, you'll need that code, low 27. Clouds and showers on Sunday, the high 51. For Monday, partly sunny, rather windy day, high 52. Clouds and chilly showers on Tuesday, high Tuesday at 48. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The answer.
ProView Remodeling, Ohio's #1 choice in sunroofs, windows, doors, decks, siding, patios, porches, basements, and bathroom remodels. Call ProView Remodeling today and get 25% off or 60 months, 0 interest. That's right, 60 months, 0 interest. Call or text 7 days a week. 614-756-3140. Win with ProView Remodeling. 614-756-3140. Check us out at ProViewRemodeling.com.
This is Josh Pick with the Aptus Blueprint Radio Show. The thing that I hear most often in meetings is, what do I do when it seems like stocks and bonds are getting crushed? Rates at the bank are abysmal, and inflation is at 40-year highs. Well, you're not alone, and there are better options. Did you know that you can lock in darn near double-digit returns in a positive market while simultaneously accepting 0 downside risk? Learn more about ideas like this and many other ways to improve your financial situation by listening to the Aptus Retirement Blueprint Radio Show Friday evenings at 6, Saturday afternoons at noon, or call our office today at 614-917-1040.
Hi, I'm Paul George with Keller Williams Greater Columbus Realty, host of the Paul George Real Estate Show, broadcasting every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 98.9 The Answer. Using over 30 years of trusted real estate agent experience in Central Ohio, I'll share invaluable insights into the ever-evolving local real estate market, provide you with current trends, and bring industry experts who will share their wisdom on the art of buying and selling homes. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6745. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's no secret, I'm turning 65 soon. Let me tell you, I've been dreading the Medicare maze. It's a bureaucratic disaster. Tons of junk mail, nonstop agent phone calls, pushing plans I don't trust. But finally, I found a solution, one that actually puts me first. Frankly, I'm shocked it didn't exist sooner. It's something called Chapter. Chapter is an independent Medicare advisor that puts your needs first. Chapter advocates for you, not the insurance companies. Chapter is the only national Medicare advisor that searches every plan to find the one that best fits your needs and maximizes your savings, all at no cost to you, no stress, no confusion. So if you're like me, if you're turning 65, or even if you're over 65, do what I did. Call Chapter, get peace of mind. Dial pound 250. When prompted, say the keyword Medicare. That's the pound sign, then 250, and say Medicare. Don't let big insurance make this decision for you. Take control. Call Chapter today. That's pound 250, and when prompted, say Medicare.
Well, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you missed all the mega sale prices at mypillow.com because you have tarried. I was gone for 2 days, and I didn't remind you. I guess part of the blame falls upon me. But I have good news. MyPillow is extending the mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. You can get a $40 savings on spring MyPillow bed sheets in any size or in any color. You can save 30% on the My Crosses. These are exactly like, if you get the men's version, the one Mike Lindell wears. The women's version, slightly smaller. The chain is not quite as big. Perfect for the ladies. And of course, they're made right here in the USA. Everything MyPillow makes is made right here in the USA. In Minnesota, which, Mike, you got to get out of there. It's a woke state. The 6-piece bath towel sets are $39.98, and the standard MyPillow, queen and king, all under $20. To take advantage of Mega Sale 2.0, go to mypillow.com and use my promo code Bruce. mypillow.com, promo code Bruce. Well, the feet of 65-year-old George Glesman are on American soil. He has been held as a hostage in Afghanistan for more than 2 years. You say, wait a minute. Well, we've been out of Afghanistan for 3 years. I thought we got all the Americans out. Joe Biden told me we got all the Americans out. Well, other than this one held by a bunch of 6th century barbarians who took over Hamid Karzai Airport at warp speed when Joe Biden said, this will not be another Saigon. No, it was worse. Did we hear the American media speaking ever of George Glesman, who I didn't know existed until he was returned to freedom by Donald Trump? Remember that we had like 4 or 5 guys, Rick Grinnell brought him back from Venezuela? Did you know about them? No. Does the news ever mention that there's one American hostage still among the hostages held by Hamas? No, they never do. But they would if Trump was in office and they were taken and we couldn't get them back. But since Trump is in office and getting back all the hostages that were taken under Joe Biden, it's different, not newsworthy, not worth reporting. Now, told you in the opening segment that the problem with Linden, according to Zach Klein and Mayor Ginther, is that the city of Columbus, which has budgeted $10 million for a spiffy bike path connecting like 2 miles of downtown in the Scioto corridor, they are suing, the city of Columbus is suing the federal government for stopping a $500,000 grant that the city says it already spent to plant trees in Linden. But wait, there's more. Doge taking aim at millions of dollars in funding that is headed to Ohio libraries and museums. An executive order that Trump signed on March the 14th calls for significant cuts to 7 agencies as part of his aim of reducing government outreach. Okay, this is the portion of the program where I say something that I haven't sought a counter opinion on. I could be wrong on, but to me it bears discussion. And that is, aren't big, fancy, ornate, expensive to build and maintain libraries kind of a thing of the past? Like, I work out at a gym, and the way I go home, I go past this beautiful new library up at Lewis Center near Olentangy Liberty High School. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It took years to build. I'm sure it's phenomenal inside. I've never gone in. There's one in Whitehall that's fantastic. I think there's one in Dublin. Maybe it's not a library, but it sure looked like one when I was driving through Dublin the other day. And I'm thinking, like, what I remember about libraries is there's a lot of books there. Where do people read books now? They read books on their phone? Is that a habit you can change? Are we going to like return people to libraries? Do we need to build these spaces? Is not everything accessed digitally now? Do we not have AI? I asked my daughter in a blissful 6-hour to and fro car ride I had with her. I said, "You ever use AI?" She said, "Oh, I use it all the time." Of course she does. She's 21. That is the wave of the future. Would it not be better to, I don't know, digitize every book out there? I'm not against learning. I'm not against researching, but she told me some of the things she uses AI for, not to cheat on her studies, but in terms of researching things and stuff, she's like, just to ask AI, it's too complicated to Google. And I'm like, wow, too complicated to Google. But like, how much, look, here's the deal, okay? Before all you library freaks come at me with, oh, you're against libraries and this and that. I'm not against them. I'm against spending millions to build them and maintain them and staff them, because that seems to me to be a thing we could do digitally, virtually, with AI, with artificial intelligence. I had to explain it to you because, my inner Kamala took over. State librarian Mandy Knapp, in a story in the Dispatch written by Anna Lynn Winfrey, says that the state of Ohio gets about $5.5 million from these library grants a year, and that they lost $27 million in funding from the state of Ohio last year, which, my reaction to that is good. She says Ohio had the second highest usage of digital library items in the country in 2024, digital library items. So I think I'm proving my point here. The use of digital items in the library is going up. The use of the library, the way you and I used to use it, is no doubt going down. Hey kids, let's go to the library. We'll sit and read books. How many moms in Central Ohio are saying that? 0. Here's the quote from Mandy Knapp, state library director, okay? She says, if federal funding dries up, the state agency's signature programs would all stop. We would still be here. We've been here for 200 years, and we're going to be here for 200 more years. Want to bet? I bet you're not there for 200 more years. I bet in 20 years or less, we're going to be saying, holy smokes, what did we build that big, honking, fancy, architectural, beautiful, marvelous library for? When you're carrying a library around in your pocket. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm absolutely positively right. I'm not saying that there aren't things that happen at the library that are good or that are bad. How many bookstores are there in Columbus? Remind me again. I drove by the 5 Points intersection in Upper Arlington the other day. You notice what I noticed wasn't there anymore? The big honking bookstore that used to be there. There's some mammoth community center there, but the bookstore's gone. Okay? Have you tried to take a book into, well, I better not say the name. The book chain that still is out there where people, over 70 go to like buy books? Have you gauged the worth of all the books that you have on your bookshelf? Okay? Like, I'm just saying, we are in a disastrous financial situation in this country, okay? I have no problem with libraries if we were like fat and happy and GDP was roaring and we were not in debt or anything like that. But folks, eventually, we are going to have to cut something, okay? We are going to have to cut a lot of something. And tree planting money and library money, particularly because of innovation, seem a great place to start.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The Trump administration says it's assisting those whose personal information was released in the JFK assassination documents dump.
Sensitive information, including social security numbers, was revealed. Global air travel has been snarled by the closure of London's Heathrow Airport. An electrical substation caught on fire. It cut power to the airport. Police say they do not suspect sabotage. Heathrow says at this point it doesn't know when the power will be restored. Canadian investigators say the Delta regional jet that crash landed in Toronto last month descended too quickly. The plane ended up upside down on the runway. DOGE Chief Elon Musk will pay a visit to the Pentagon today. Defense Secretary Hegseth says his meeting with Musk will focus on innovations, efficiencies, and smarter production. The Dow down 257 points, and this is SRN News.
3 years ago, I wrapped up a run of Annie playing Daddy Warbucks at the South Carolina Children's Theater. I was about 40, 50 pounds overweight, tired, sick, fed up with the way I felt. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I had to do something. I scheduled my weight loss consultation with PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition. And as they say, the rest is history. Just a few months, I lost over 50 pounds. I took control of my health. 3 years later, I kept the weight off, and I feel better than ever. If you are where I was, do what I did. Call PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition.
That was the one thing I thought. The only reason people go to the library is for a drag show.
Just give them a call at
855-696-2020
to schedule your weight loss consultation. That's 855-696-2020. 855-696-2020. Here's the best part. First 11 callers who mention the keyword healthy will get 2 free weeks added to their weight loss package. Don't wait. Call today. 855-696-2020. Mention healthy to get 2 free weeks. Or visit them at myphdweightloss.com. MyPhD.
From athletes and actors to comedians and politicians, Chris DeGaule's interviews regularly grabs national headlines. And you can hear him weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on your station for news, opinion, and passion. 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Patriots, an event you don't want to miss. March 28th and 29th, Stay Awake America Tour, Delaware, Ohio. Experience the electrifying Christian rock band Casper McLeod, plus 21 powerhouse mega speakers. 2 days where music, health, and action collide to unite and engage America to stay awake. Limited seatings, don't delay. Get your tickets today. Text 786-520-7876. 786-520-7876. Be a part of the movement. Stay awake, America. It's time. America needs you.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2 to Retire Ready Ohio with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group. The firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
If you're a local business and ready to take the next step, Google Salem Surround Columbus right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, tune in, or iHeart.
April the 25th, Der Dutchman Restaurant, A Night with Larry Elder. Those are the salient facts. Oh, one more. Go to 989theanswer.com to get your tickets, because I don't want you to be shut out. I'd really be sad if I'm inside eating roasted chicken and roast beef and assorted pies. I thought you were only limited to one piece of pie, Bruce. Well, okay, but there'll be an assortment of pies. All right. It'd be sad if I had to look out and you were outside peering through the window longingly at the food and at Jack Windsor, host of the Windsor Report, myself and Larry Elder up on stage. Don't let that happen, okay? Don't let that happen. Go to 989theanswer.com and get your tickets right now, because the tickets are selling fast. We are now at way less than half of the room's capacity available. So I would go and buy them, because you wait, you'll forget, and then, well, you'll go hungry. Not just for good Amish food, but for great conservative talk. 989theanswer.com. Pam Bondi, your Attorney General, has arrested 3 people, all of whom look like they have some serious mental issues, which of course you would have to if you think that throwing Molotov cocktails into a Tesla would affect any kind of meaningful change. Let's see, can we follow the illogic? I don't like that Donald Trump is president. I don't like that he hired Elon Musk. By the way, I was driving through Upper Arlington the other day. Let me digress for a second. I'm driving through Upper Arlington the other day, north of Lane, okay, but in the Canterbury neighborhood, and I noticed a flag flying, stuck out in the corner of the yard. And it looks suspiciously like a Trump flag. And I'm like, holy cow, I know where my buddy lives in Upper Arlington. We're nowhere close to his house. Who else in Arlington is still flying a Trump flag? And then I got to look at the flag. And the flag said, impeach Elon. And I'm like, first of all, wouldn't it be nice to be so rich that you'd have enough money to buy a humongous flag out of your disposable income that would say impeach Elon? And then I thought, no, it really wouldn't be that nice, because that would mean you're so stupid that you think Elon Musk could be impeached because he was not elected. Okay. But nevertheless, there's a lot of hatred out there toward Elon Musk. So that person from that home would probably be fine with people throwing Molotov cocktails into Teslas and causing fires in dealerships and cutting charging station cords and spray painting resist and other more profane things on Tesla dealership windows. But Pam Bondi's not okay with it. She has said they are going to prosecute these acts as acts of domestic terrorism. All 3 people that she arrested, Charleston, South Carolina, Loveland, Colorado, Salem, Oregon, face a minimum of 5 years in prison. Here's her quote. She says, the swarm of violent attacks on Tesla property is nothing short of domestic terrorism. The Department of Justice has already charged several perpetrators with that in mind, including in cases that involve charges with 5-year mandatory minimum sentences. We will continue investigations that impose severe consequences on those involved in these attacks, including those operating behind the scenes to coordinate and fund these crimes. Good. Was it not just this week that Elon Musk flew a SpaceX rocket to the moon to retrieve 2 astronauts who had been stranded for, 8 months, 9 months? I believe it was. Was Elon Musk not the darling of the left when he took a step toward reducing the horrible, awful, terrible, very bad carbon footprint of the United States of America by building the most all-American car constructed vehicle in the United States? Is the only vehicle that is 100% built in the United States, thus not subjected to any tariffs like our great quote-unquote American auto manufacturers, whose parts go back and forth across the border, Canada, Mexico, Canada, Mexico, Canada, Mexico, multiple times. Kevin O'Leary, you know him as Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank. I thought they called him Mr. Wonderful as kind of a sarcastic thing because he can be a little bit nasty to people who come before the sharks in the tank with stupid business ideas. But I now call Kevin O'Leary Mr. Wonderful because his takes on Elon Musk and on the vandalism toward Tesla owners are, in fact, wonderful.
And I think they should be persecuted relentlessly for what they're doing, because loss of property is one of the laws we support in our democracy. It doesn't matter what party you're. And I thought, most people would look at that and say, I'm not okay with it. Democrats own these cars. Republicans own these cars. These are criminals. They should go to jail, number one. Is he a hero? Well, apparently the government couldn't get them back with all the money they gave Boeing. My tax dollars went to Boeing. I didn't want to do that. They failed at the mission, and a private company happens to be founded by Elon Musk, was successful. That's a fact, too. I think we should keep going with Elon because he actually has executional skills while others don't. And if I were the CEO of Boeing, I would put my head in shame today because I could not deliver, and my bird is still on the ground, and his bird is flying back and forth. Also a fact. I think everybody should just get over it and realize what's really going on here. This guy is an American hero. He's an incredible entrepreneur, great executional skills, and everybody burns his cars. I'd like to see them in prison as terrorists.
Ah, so would I. So would I. I would make them the personification of what has become a pretty colloquial saying, which I'll clean up. Fool around and find out. Fool around and find out. Go ahead, key a Tesla. Go ahead, scratch a swastika on a Tesla and see what happens to you. Because every person that I see video of doing this, and by the way, every Tesla, they have activated, this is just, again, a tribute to Musk's brilliance. They can, from, I don't know where, the Tesla Batcave, automatically turn on every camera in the Tesla, it's called Sentry mode, to record you if you are some nutcase who's going to go and willfully damage another person's automobile. It's bad enough when you do it with a shopping cart and don't own up to it. It's bad enough when you don't hang onto your door in the wind and your door flies open and cracks into somebody else's car and you just drive away as if nothing has happened. You're bad, but you're off the chart evil if you're doing this intentionally to someone who you do not know, who you may in fact be 100% in alignment with politically. All you know about them is that they own a Tesla. That's all you know. Now, speaking of stupid people and their opposition to Tesla, here is Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So
now we know another thing that gives Tim Walz a thrill, besides denying parents the right over their child's sex and whether the kid has their genitals cut off or not, besides putting tampons in boys' bathrooms. Tim Walz is a big fan of the plummeting price of Tesla. This is a curious position for a governor of a state to take when the state pension fund in Minnesota includes 1.6 million shares of Tesla. So Tim Walz is rooting for the decline of the Minnesota pension fund for Minnesota state employees. That makes Tim Walz happy. Good for you, Tim Walz. Good for you. Now, this is, of course, indefensible, but it is so typical of Democrats because they are so desperate to do anything about Donald Trump that resorting to violence is, to them, perfectly fine. In fact, recommended, is in fact endorsed. It is something that they really, really, really enjoy. And you know this from Abby Phillips, the nutcase on CNN, who was making the case that, well, you know, sure, Tim Walz said this, but it's a larger issue. Like, what about the protest issue of this? Kevin O'Leary having none of it.
About the protest factor. I mean, you heard
What
Tim Walz.
protest?
You're
You're a criminal.
I'm talking about Tim Walz and his comments about the Tesla stock. He says it gives him a boost to see that stock going down.
That poor guy didn't check his portfolio and his own pension plan for state. It's beyond stupid what he did. He's talking down a 3.5% weighting in his own pension plan. I mean, what's the matter with that guy? He doesn't check the well-being of his own constituents in his state.
I mean,
that's their investment
your
fund.
point,
What a bozo.
What a bozo. Well, we have it on good authority that Tim Walz is a knucklehead. Well, I don't know if it's good authority. Tim Walz said he was a knucklehead. So he is, but I just don't know if I would classify him as an authority or even a good authority. Because I tend to think that if you're someone who's going to theoretically benefit from the Minnesota pension fund, you wouldn't want it to be going down and you wouldn't want your governor cheering when it goes down.
Partly sunny skies and breezy this afternoon. High today 54. Clouds and a couple of showers around late tonight, low 43. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, and a high 51. Tomorrow night, clear and cold. You'll need that coat, low 27. Clouds and showers on Sunday, the high 51. For Monday, partly sunny, rather windy day, high 52. Clouds and chilly showers on Tuesday, high Tuesday at 48. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Hi, it's Bruce Hooley with great news. Besides the fact that the weather is warming up, MyPillow is excited to announce that they're extending the mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, you can save $40 on the new spring MyPillow bed sheets, any size, any color. Save 30% on their brand new My Crosses, which are designed in the likeness of the one Mike has worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's styles, and they're made right here in the USA. You can get the 6-piece bath or kitchen towel sets for only $29.98. Now, the quantities of these 6-piece towel sets are extremely low, so don't hesitate. Order today at MyPillow.com and use my promo code Bruce. And the best-selling standard MyPillow is just $14.98. That's crazy low. So take advantage of the mega sale at MyPillow.com by using my promo code Bruce at checkout. But that's not all. You get free shipping on orders over $75 or more. Make it happen right now. MyPillow.com, promo code Bruce. MyPillow.com, promo code Bruce.
While Dennis Prager is recuperating, we know you miss your daily dose of Dennis. That's why Pragertopia is giving you a special gift. Right now, Pragertopia members can hear the best 2 hours of Dennis's favorite segments from as far back as 2010. On Monday, you can hear the Happiness Hour.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what I'm about.
Tuesday is Celebrity Guest Day.
Donald Trump Jr. is in studio with me.
On Wednesday, it's the Male-Female Hour.
I really do wish there were a way to ascertain the number of marriages that this hour has helped.
Thursday, the Ultimate Issues Hour.
Not having ultimate issues clarity is like having a map, but you don't know where you're going.
And Friday is Open Lines.
Feel free to ask me anything about me, about you, about life.
So if you're missing your daily dose of Dennis, go to Pragertopia.com and hear all your favorite segments, along with lectures, celebrity interviews, his famous Torah teachings, and more. Get your daily dose of Dennis at Pragertopia.com. Pragertopia.com.
Two things that hit a family budget the hardest: the price of gas and of groceries. Let us ease that pain at the pump when you enter the Gas and Groceries giveaway. Back for the third straight year, the grand prize winner gets $2,500 in Gas and Groceries gift cards. Two first prize winners will each get $500 in gift cards. That could be you, so enter today.
Increase your chances by entering once a day at 989theanswer.com.
As the battle between good and evil escalates, it's easy to blame politicians, government, or poor leadership. But behind all of it is a spiritual battle. We have an adversary who seeks to threaten, intimidate, and frighten us. That's why amazing man, Pastor Alan Jackson's new book, Angels, Demons, and You, is all about. Read what the Bible has to say about angels and their unique roles as God's messengers and our helpers. Begin to recognize the evil at play and the turmoil surrounding us, and oftentimes even in our own thoughts. You see, angels and demons aren't imaginary. They actually exist. And the battle is real, but we need not to be afraid. We just need to be aware enough to see it and know what to do about it. Angels, demons, and you find valuable insight, practical tools, and biblical truth that will help you navigate what is ahead. We're going to need it. Get your copy today at alanjackson.com/angels. Pastor Alan is incredible. You can learn more about his ministry at exon.com. That is alanjackson.com.
Discount Shopping Club, great opportunity for you to save money. We have all kinds of deals in the Discount Shopping Club. I highlight the biggest ones, but there are a lot of half-price items there. Mac Mattress Outlet, deals on mattresses. We still have the furnace deal going on. If your furnace has been on its last legs this year, it would be a great time for you to replace it now. That's courtesy of Temperature Pro Columbus. And also, of course, tuition discount deals. We try to be ahead of the curve. And your student at home may not know where they want to go to college. I would humbly submit that maybe Valor Christian College, which is local, affiliated with World Harvest Church, or Ohio Christian University would both be good choices for them. They're not going to come back somebody you don't know, somebody you don't recognize, with values that you didn't teach them and that you don't like. You can spend $2,500 for a $5,000 tuition discount in the Discount Shopping Club at 9890theanswer.com. All you have to do is click on the word shopping, and that will take you to the Discount Shopping Club at 9890theanswer.com. Our governor, Mike DeWine, yesterday was in Washington, D.C. when Donald Trump signed the executive order, which he hopes will lead to the elimination of the Department of Education. There is little to no chance that the department will be eliminated because you need the Senate to agree with it. We don't have 60 Senate votes, thus there will be a filibuster to stop it, even if the House would be able to muster the votes for it. Teachers' unions are too powerful, so it will not go away, but it can be cut, reduced, until some low-level district judge intervenes. By the way, I heard a great line the other day from the Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. I'll try to recite it from memory. It was something like, you know the difference between a Democrat federal district court judge and God? And the answer is yes. God knows that he's not a Democratic district court judge. That's the difference. Because the Democratic district court judges, of course, think they are God and think they can stop Donald Trump from everything that he is doing. So Mike DeWine was there when Donald Trump signed his executive order. This is something that Republican governors going back to Ronald Reagan, or Republican presidents, rather, going back to Ronald Reagan, have wanted to do. Of course, it will not happen because the teachers' unions own the Democratic Party. And the American Federation of Teachers is headed by Randi Weingarten, who, of course, was given ample platform to go on the national news shows and bellyache and complain and, oh, yes, lie about this.
COVID was a terrible time for us. And as you know, because I was on your show a lot and other shows, I wanted schools to be reopened as early as April of 2020. But this has been a Republican talking point for a long time.
Yeah, she was talking about learning loss and coming from COVID, and that Republicans have been mad about COVID because the schools were shut down. And her contention again is that she wanted to open the schools, and that, it's been a Republican talking point that she wanted to keep the schools closed. In case you missed that aspect of it, and I'll play it again. Just listen closely. She's contending. Tell us again, Randi, when did you want to open the schools?
COVID was a terrible time for us. And as you know, because I was on your show a lot and other shows, I wanted schools to be reopened as early as April of 2020. But this has been a Republican talking point for a long time.
One more time.
I wanted schools to be reopened as early as April of 2020.
Okay. Apparently there is this thing the Democrats are unaware of called the internet. Search engines, the human brain, videotape, audio tape. Here's Randi Weingarten. 3 clips I found from July, August, and November of 2020. After, according to her, she was advocating passionately for the reopening of schools in April of that year.
If people are in high risk, they shouldn't be in school. Remote and hybrid are really the only 2 ways you can reopen schools safely.
They're closing now because what the city said, and frankly, what lots of other places are also seeing, is a huge skyrocketing increase in the virus
you're not
surge.
listening.
That last way you're not listening was Martha McCallum of Fox, the only network that tended to push back on Randi Weingarten trying to position herself as an advocate for opening schools. Of course, this closure of the Department of Education is only the latest thing that liberals hate because Trump's trying to ruin education. He's trying to take money away from poor kids. Which led to a pretty interesting take from Chris Cuomo, who was all about, by the way, closing schools and has only become remotely conservative and down the middle because it's the only place that he could find work in light of flaming out at CNN along with Don Lemon and others. But here's what Chris Cuomo said about the opponents of Donald Trump.
At what point are you going to realize that people know who Trump is and what he is and what he has done? They're not electing him to be their daddy or to date their mom or to take care of their kid or to be in business with them. They are picking him to be a disruptor of a system that they are more concerned about than any of his personal foibles. Don't you get it? I'm not washing him. Who criticizes Trump more than I have? Come on with my platform. Give me a break. I'm one of the only anchors
No, you're not.
in the media who will tell you outright, personally, I've had beef with him for calling me an enemy of the state and making life hard for my wife and my kids. I had to move. And he knew about it and he continued doing it anyway. That's my beef, but I still cover him fairly. Why? Because I care more about the people who voted for him and that he is now in control of again, in terms of our collective fate, than I do my personal problem with him. It's not the job to just judge people on the basis of how I feel about them. It's about what they mean in society and what the issues are for the collective, not just me. I'm not sane-washing Trump. I'm not now a Trumper. I haven't been red pill. But I got to be hopeful that he does better this time. I want good things for the country. I want progress. Don't you?
The answer is no. They don't want good things for the country. Not if Donald Trump's going to get credit for them. Chris Cuomo is outlining a scenario that a lot of people have, right? You probably have somebody you do business with who's not the nicest person. Maybe it's your mechanic, maybe it's your plumber, maybe it's your electrician. And when somebody says, yeah, I need a plumber, I need an electrician, you say, well, I got a guy. I got a guy. Trump is our guy. We might not like everything he does, but he's our guy. A lot of us do like everything he does. But he's getting things done that we need done, that we can't do ourselves. Which, you know, they call Trump a Nazi all the time. Oh, Trump's a Nazi, he's a Nazi. I thought, you know what? Trump is the guy you do business with who you don't really maybe at times want to do business with, which reminded me of this classic character from Seinfeld, who was referred to as the soup Nazi.
Medium turkey chili. Medium crab bisque.
George lays the money on the counter. Move to the side.
Didn't get any bread. Just forget it. Let it go.
Let it go. Don't object.
Excuse me. I think you forgot my bread.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3. What? No soup for you.
Yes, no soup for you, Democrats, because you are always, like George Costanza, asking for bread, for more handouts. We can't afford it in our country. Trump knows it, Musk knows it. They're cutting costs, they're cutting waste, and you are going against the American taxpayer who embraces this idea, at least 65-35. And if you could divorce political ideologies and the Democrats who answer that question, no, I'm not for Doge, because they know it reflects well on Trump and Musk. They are actually for what is being done. They're just not for those who are doing it, because they cannot bring themselves to humble themselves before the soup Nazi, even though his soup is the best.
I found a fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC.
I have a couple of things to think about for tomorrow, everybody.
All right. Thanks for joining us. That's hour number 1. There's another hour to go. You can watch it on the Bruce Hooley Show Facebook page or the 989 The Answer Facebook page. Great audience. Glad to have you. Glad you are here for me coming back. So
this week on Capitol Hill,
have a great weekend. Enjoy the NCAA tournament. I'm a big McNeese State fan. I'm on McNeese State because I think Purdue is average and overrated, and I get sick of people lapdogging Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer. They're the epitome of average. All right. With that, have a good one.